ब्रह्मांड छत्रदंडः शतरधृति भवनां भूरुहो नालदंडः क्रोणी नौकूपदंडः क्षरदमर सरित पट्टिका केतुदंडः ज्योतिश्चक्राक्षदंडस्त्रिभुवन विजयस्तंभ दंडोंग्रिदंडः श्रेयस्त्रैविक्रमस्ते वितरतु विबुधद्वेषिणां कालदंडः. We finished the Niryayo. Magadha Raja. The name of Magadha Raja is actually Rājahamsa. I forgot to mention last time. The Magadha Nayakaha Mahata Roshena Avishtaha Niryayo. So he saw that Manasara, who is the king of Malwa, was extremely, because he was a what is the expression? New boy around the block. So because he was right fresh into the Yuddham, he was also displaying arrogance, and Magadha Nayaka wanted to, he became very angry because of the display of this thing. New kid around the block, right? So he went out with his army to face Mālaveśvara, Manasara. The name of Mālaveśvara is Manasara, and the name of Magadha Raja is
Rājahamsa.
Yes, Rājahamsa. Correct. Now I think we have to start from this. Tayo Ratha Turaga Khura Kshunna Mālavanathaha api Anekapa Yutha Sanathaha Vigrahaha Savigraha iva Sagrahaha Abhimuki Bhuyo Nirjagama Manasara Mālavanatha also hearing the news that Magadheśvara is marching towards him with his army, he also decided to come out. Vigrahaha, Savigrahaha, Vigrahaiva. It was as if he was the war that had taken on a form here. Tayoho Atha Janyam Ajani. There was a battle between the two of them. Tayoho Atha. After that, Janyam Ajani, there was a huge fight between the two of them. Where was it happening? Dhuli Patale Divishad Adhvani Vyakule Viyattala Vyakule. Okay, hold on. Dhvani Digantaralam Shastra Shastri. These are all for the Janyam. Kidrasham Yuddham Abhut. And then where it was, how was it before the this thing. So Ratha Turaga Khura. From there that we start.
That goes with the Dhuli Patale, right?
Dhuli Patalam. Yes. So it goes with the Dhuli Patala. So we start with the entire Viyattala Vyakule. Viyattalam tu tatra Dhuli Patalena Vyakulam Asit. Dhuli Patale Viyattala Vyakule Sati. When there was a huge Dhuli Patalam, smoke, dust. Dust was which rose from the earth, so was thickly spread over the Akasha. Okay. Now, 1 minute. Okay. So, when the dust, which was Vyakulam, which was completely pasting over the Viyattala. Vyakulam can mean covering. Vyakula can mean it was making a confusion in the Akasha. That is, there was no distinction between the Akasha and the Bhumi, such that the Dhuli dust was completely covering even up to the Akasha. So, Viyattalam Vyakulam Asit. Dhuli Patalaha. So that Dhuli Patalam, which was making the Akasha completely invisible. So which means it had thickly spread over the surface of the Akasha. How was it? Because that Dhuli Patalam had risen up and it was covering the Akasha also. It was looking like Navya Vallabha Varana Ayata Divya Kanya Jana Javanika Patamandapaha Iva. Patamandapaha iva. Correct. Patamandapam iva janyam asit. 1 minute. Let me check the text here. So we are describing the Dhuli Patalam here. So the dust which has come up from the which has come up from the earth. Okay, let's take one by one in a different manner here. So dhuli patale, the host of dust that is coming up, and it has come up from the ratha, turaga, khura, kshunna, kshoni, samudbhute. Samudbhute, the dust that arose from the kshoni earth, that was kshunna, that was dug up by the hooves of the horses. Turaga khuraihi kshunna bhumihi. Tasyaha bhumehe samudbhutaha dhuli patalaha. Tasmin dhuli patale. So this is an adjective to dhuli patala. Or it has also come from the chariots that are going in the battlefield. So from the chariots that are treading on the earth and the hooves of the horses that are also going on the earth, there is a big dust coming up. Samudbhute. Kari ghata kata sravat mada dhara dhauta mule. As the dust is coming up, the moolam portion of that dust, think of it as it is like a curtain. So he is going to describe it as a curtain. But the lower portion of that curtain is somehow, it will just dissipate. Usually, if it is dust, it will completely dissipate and go away. But here it is so thick and the bottom portion has been made more wet because of the mada jalam that is coming, mada dhara that is coming from the elephants. So kari ghata kata sravat. Kari ghata dhauta mule. Dhauta mule, the lower portion of it, that is the moolam, root portion of the dhuli patalam, of the cloud of dust, is dhautam. It is washed away by the madadhara, the stream of madajalam, that is sravat, that is coming down or oozing from the temples of the elephants. Okay, so kari ghata kata sravat. Kata should mean ganda pradeshaha. Ghata is samuhaha. So karinam samuhanam kata ganda pradeshat sravanti madadhara. Taya madadharaya dhuli patalasya moolam dhautam vartate. Okay, the two things. So dhuli patalam क्षोण्याः समुद्भूतं वर्तते, भूमेः समुद्भूतं, कथं समुद्भूतम् आसीत् और कथं समुद्भूतः धूलीपटलः, रथ तुरग खुर रथैः तुरग खुरैः च क्षुण्णा आसीत्. So it was खनिता आसीत् भूमिः. Then the next one is the moolam portion, the bottom portion was completely dhautam and it was thicked, or you can take it as it was completely washed away. So since the bottom portion is washed away, it was like as if the curtain is almost rising here. That also can be, because it is washed away, it has gone and settled down, and it is no longer there. There is no bottom portion here. It is as if the curtain is rising up. If it was completely, then you would think that it is only Bhumi and Vyat totally are together. Both Akasham and Bhumi are together here. But that is not the case here, because the lower portion of the dhuli, of the cloud of dust, is washed away, dhautamulam, by the madadhara that is constantly oozing out of the elephants. The idea here is the elephants are all in its youth. So that is why the madadhara is constantly oozing. So there are no old elephants fighting in this battle. So how does it look like? Because of this, Navya Vallabha Varana Ayata Divya Kanyajana Javanika Patamandape Iva Vyattala Vyakule Dhuli Patale. Now it was as if it looked like a patamandapam, like the curtain of a cloth mandapam. Let's say it is, you know how they have these backdrops in dramas, right? So it is like a curtain that is covering the Divya Kanyajana who have come, Divya Kanyajana Apsarastris, who have come here to choose Varana, to choose their new lovers. That is, this battlefield, there are going to be many people who die in this battlefield. They will all get Veeraswargam. The Apsarastris, it is as if they have come here for a Swayamvara to see who is the best person and whom they can choose. So, Navya Vallabha, new lover, Varanam, Navya Vallabhasya Varanaya Ayataha Divya Kanyajanaha, Apsara Strijanaha, Apsarojanaha. Tadartham, or for them, women who come for Swayamvaram, they don't randomly just open and, they don't show their faces and come here. So here it is like there is a curtain and they are standing behind the curtain. So Javanika Patamandape Iva Viyattale, because they are standing in the Akasha, this Dhuli Patalam seems like a curtain for those women, those Apsarastris who have come there to choose whom they want.
Is it like that Upparigai?
Upparigai eduthukalam.
Like a pavilion.
Like a pavilion, Pata Mandapam. There is a Mandapam there. And the Romeo Juliet Madri. Juliet is standing on a balcony with a curtain there and the Madri, you can say. Divishad Adhvani. Divishad Adhvani Dhuli Patale. In the Akasha Adhva. That is in the pathway of sorry Adhvangardu
Margeva
Divishad Divishadangardu idu illa
Through the sky, right?
Divishad Adhvani Deva Marge. Yes. Deva Marge, they are standing. It is like a Javanika or the Dhuli Patalam which is there in the Margam of, that is Swarge, Akashe Vartate iti. So Deva Marge. Dhikrita Anyadvani Patahadvana Bhadarita Ashesha Digantaralam Hasta Hasti Shastra Shastri Paraspara Abhihitam Sainyam Janyam Ajani. So the Janyam, the battle was such that it was Ashesha Digantaralam Badharitam, which was Badharita. It was completely deafening all of the all of the quarters with the sound that is arising from Pataha, from the war drums, which puts down Anya Dhvani. Anya Dhvanayaha Dhikritaha Vartante Kena Patahadhvanena. Tena Patahadhvanena Digantaralam Badharikritam Iva Asti. So the entire Digantaralam has completely deafened because there is only this sound that can be heard and it drowns every other sound that is there. So Dhikrita Anyadvani Tadrisha Patahadvana Tena Badharita Ashesha Digantaralam Yasmin Janye Tad Janyam. Okay. Shastra Shastri and Hasta Hasti are specific on the Vyatihara Bahuvrihi Samasa, where Shastraihi Prahritya Idam Yuddham Pravrittam, so it is an adjective to Janyam. Hasta Hasti. Haste Prahritya Idam Yuddham Pravrittam. So this battle which started off by one weapon hitting another weapon. So they were attacking with weapons and attacking with hands. Paraspara Abhihata Sainyam, the battle in which Sainya, the armies, were constantly hitting each other. Okay, so the warriors struck one another with the weapons and with their hands, and wherein all the space or the quarters, the dig antaralam, was completely deafened by the sounds of the war drums, Patahadvani, which put down all of the other sounds. Okay, clean idea.
When they have elephants, why should they fight with hand?
There are 4 types of Chaturanga Balam iti Uktam. Okay. So, Ratha, Samayoreva Shobhate, Yuddhascha Vivahascha va, edo Vivadascha Vivahascha, Samayoreva Shobhate, ityasti. So, only those who have a weapon should fight with a weapon. One who is on an elephant should fight someone with one who is on an elephant. You cannot fight with someone. That is why, even where Matali, Indra sent Matali along with the chariot for Rama, seeing that Ravana was on the chariot.
Yeah.
So if another person has a club, this person doesn't have a weapon, he should draw, and he wants to fight with that person, he should drop his club and fight with the hand. You cannot, it's an unfair fight. They had their rules. अतत्र मगधराजः प्रक्षीणसकलसैन्यमण्डलं मालवराजं जीवग्राहम् अभिगृह्य कृपालुतया पुनरपि स्वराज्ये प्रतिष्ठापयामास. Now Rājahamsa, who is our hero's father, okay, so Rājahamsa, this is he, what did he do? प्रक्षीणसकलसैन्यमण्डलं मालवराजं जीवग्राहम् अभिगृह्य. जीवग्राहं जीवनं मात्रं irukku, you know, तथा गृह्णाति. So one who just catches him with just his life remaining, that's all. So jeevagraham, he idu vandu namulla jeevantam grinati iti jeevagraham. So he catches him with his life alive, and kripalutaya, whom does he catch? Malavarajam, manasaram abhigrihya grihitva saha malavarajastu prakshina sakala sainya mandalaha. His entire army was completely kshinam, destroyed. One whose army was totally destroyed. Tadrisham malavarajam jeevagraham abhigrihya. He caught him alive, but he did not imprison him. Kripalutaya, Magadharaja was a more magnanimous person. So he, out of because he had this kripalu nature, yeah, kripalutaya, out of mercy, punarapi swarajye pratisthapayamasa, he again established Manasara in his kingdom. He didn't want to kill him, nor did he want to imprison him. So he was being magnanimous, and mercifully he gave back his kingdom to Malavaraja. Okay, next. Tataha saha ratnakaramekhalam ilam ananyashasanam shasat anapatyataya narayanam sakalaloka ekakaranam nirantaram archayamasa. Saha atra Magadheśvaraha Rajahamsaha. So tataha, after Malwa king was established in his city, this Magadharaja Ratnakaramekhalam ilam ananyashasanam shasat. Shasat is in Chhatrapratyaya here. So as he was ruling this bhumi ila ananyashasanam, without any other rule coming in. So she was ruled ekadipatya rupena, without a rival. Ratnakaramekhalam ilam shasat. So ruled the earth, which had the oceans. Ratnakara, as her Mekhala, was circled by the oceans. Ananya Shasanam, without a rival. Anapatyataya, because he did not have any child. Narayanam sakalaloka ikakaranam nirantaram archayamasa. He constantly worshipped Narayana, who was the karanam, who was the source for everything in this world. Sakalaloka Karanam. That is, he was the creator of this universe. So if someone needed anything, you pray for Vishnu here. Atha kadachit tadagramahishi devena kalpavalli phalam avapnuhi iti prabhata samaye suswapnam avalokitavati. Atha kadachit, one day, tadagramahishi, his queen, saw Avalokitavati, saw a good swapnam during the morning time. Usually before waking up. Udayat purvam, usually the dream that you dream during the Ushakkala will come, or Brahma Muhurtam, or right before Suryodaya, that would come true, is what is the Shakunam. Usually. So, Prabhata Samaye Suswapnam Avalokitavati. What was the Suswapnam? Devena Deva Mulyena Deva Margena, through the king. Kalpavalli Phalam Avapnuhi. You will attain, may you get a fruit of Kalpavalli, of that Kalpaka Vriksham. Avapnuhi. So which means you will obtain a child. This is an indication of that. Okay. Sa tada
Devena saha iti va.
Devena saha, through the king, because you know with the king. Atra Devena saha. Rajñā Rājahamsena saha. Okay. Kalpataru phalam labhasva. Okay.
Kalpataru phalam, that is to say, whatever you desire.
Yes.
Yeah, wish.
Because the kalpa, the wish giving tree, then wish fulfilling tree. Sa tada
Is there
daita
also a
manu.
banana like that?
Enama?
Is there also a banana like that, named like that?
Karpuravalli. That's not Kalpavalli.
Karpuravalli, not Kalpavalli. Okay.
Nendra unte Indra nasti iti Nendra.
Shisho. Sa tada daita manoratha pushpabhutam garbham adatta. So she garbham adatta, she became pregnant, which was the pushpabhutam, which was the flower for the fruit. So the flower is the garbham and the fruit is the child here. So daita manorathasya pushpabhutam. This is like the flower of his manoratha. Daita here is the beloved. Garbham adatta. So she also became pregnant. Raja api sampat nyakrita akhandalaha suhrin ripamandalam samahuya nija sampad manorathanurupam devyaha simantotsavam vyadhatta. He performed the simantotsavam. Simantonnayanam is a ritual, is a samskara that you perform for the girl, for the lady who is pregnant. Usually 6th month and the madri, they will think of all the in the months and do it, something like that. Okay.
Alagapu and then only singing, right?
Adalla inge depends on the time.
And then
Depends on the deshacharam and kalacharam. So Raja api, the king, sampanyakrita akhandalaha. The king who nyakrita, who put down even akhandala, Indra, with his wealth. So sampadbihi akhandalaha nyakritaha yena tadrishaha raja. So the king excelled even Indra in his riches. He called, invited. He called his Suhrin Ripamandalam. He called all of his friends in the royal circle. And Nija Sampan Manoratha Anurupam Simantotsavam. He Vyadatta, he conducted the Simantotsavam for his queen with the which was Anurupam, which was befitting or appropriate to his both his wealth and to his desire. So we may desire so many things to do, but we may not have the wealth to do all of those things, to accomplish all of these things. He had both the wealth and he had the desire to do it. You may have enough wealth, but you may not have the desire to use the wealth to conduct a festival of grand scale. But he had both the wealth and the mind to perform such a Simantotsav. Okay?
So when we said before, Daita Manoratha Pushpa Bhutam, can you explain that one more time?
Daitaha Raja. Tasya Manorathaha Putraha. Putrasya Manorathasya Phalam tu Putraha. Phalasya Pushpam tu Tat Purvavastha. Tarhi Garbhaha eva Putrasya Purvavastha. So Pushpa Bhutam Garbham iti. Pushpatvam Praptam Garbham. And the bhutangarthukku you take bhu prapte, it is a dashamaganiya dhatu, if I remember. Ama.
Again in Dashamagani, oh, I see. Oh.
Ama. And the pushpa bhutam, alankaram.
Dirgha ukara va?
Ama.
Oh.
not the Bhusatayam, but not the Dvadi.
It's not Bhu Sattayam, not Bhadi. It is Bhu Prapteyo Adovaru.
Churadi.
So Pushpatvam Praptam.
Then here again, Nija Sampat Manoratha Anurupam, Nija Sampat befitting, how do you say?
So Sampacha Manorathascha or Sampadaha cha Manorathaha cha Sampan Manorathaha Nijasya Sampan Manorathaha Nija Sampan Manorathaha tasya anurupam only, directly, or tesham anurupam, something that is appropriate, befitting. Okay, இல்லையா என்னாச்சு? What's the
இல்ல doubt என்ன நிஜ சம்பத் I thought maybe கொஞ்சம் extra. I was thinking நிஜ சம்பத் is actually the devi, தஸ்யாக மனோரதா
அப்படிலாம் அப்படி இல்ல. ஓகே. ஏகதா हितैः सुहृन् मन्त्री पुरोहितैः सभायां सिंहासनासीनः गुणैः अहीनः ललाटतलन्यस्त अंजलिना द्वारपालेन व्यज्ञापि. एकदा वंस द्वारपालेन व्यज्ञापि. कः? राजा एव, राजसिंहः व्यज्ञापि. व्यजिज्ञपत्ங்கிறது द्वारपालः राजानं व्यजिज्ञपत्, द्वारपालेन राजा व्यज्ञापि. This is a विज्ञापयतीक lung form. व्यजिज्ञपत् would be the कर्तरि, विज्ञापि would be the इद कर्मणि प्रयोग. एकदा, so he was informed, the king was informed by the Dwarapala. How was the king here? Simhasana asinaha. He was sitting in the simhasanam, where sabhayam, in his darbar, suhrin mantri purohitaihi hitaihi saha, along with the people, good people who were hitam to him, who were beneficial, who were good, loyal to him nu eduthikalam.
Well wishers.
Well wishers, yeah, I like that. So well or trustworthy friends who were well wishers. Suhrin mantri purohita, friends, ministers, and purohita are the priests. All of these people, along with them, sabhayam simhasana asinaha, sitting on a throne, gunaihi ahinaha, one who was not without merits, not without any good qualities. That is, he was filled with good qualities. Lalata talanyasta anjalina dwarapalena. This is the adjective for the Dwarapala. He was informed by the Dwarapala, the doorkeeper, who had placed his anjali, joined hands, placed nyasta on his lalatam, on his forehead. So talamela kai koopi solradu. Deva sandarshana lalasa manasaha kopi devena virachya archanarhaha yatihi dvaradesham adhyaste. Hey Deva sandarshana lalasa manasaha, someone who wishes to, who has the mind which wants to see you. Lalasa manasaha would be one who wants to see you, desirous of seeing you. Kopi yatihi, some yati, ascetic, devena archanarhaha, dvaradesham adhyaste. Devena virachya.
The yati is worthy of being worshipped by Deva, by the king.
Yes, that is correct. In the virachyangaradu enga varumnu paakren. Devena virachya archana tam arhati iti virachyarchanarhaha yatihi. Okay. Yati is arha, he is fit to receive the archana that will be performed by, that has to be performed by the king. Okay, Sarya?
Right? Because the deva is outside the compound.
Yes, it is. So saha yatihi dvaradesham adhyaste, he is standing at the door. Idan the adishingstha karma. Bhupatihi ayantam tam vilokya, seeing the ascetic tam, seeing the yati who had come, samyajñāta tadiya gūಢachāra bhāvaha nikhilam anucharanikaram visrijya. He knows very well that this is an ascetic who is actually a chara bhavaha, gūಢachāra, a secret spy. So samyak jnata tadiya gudha chara bhavaha. Knowing very well that he is his attitude of a spy, of a rahasya spy. Tadiya gudha tadiyaha gudachara bhavaha. Tena samyak jnataha. Tadrishaha bhupatihi. Okay, the king who knew very well about the nature of the who has knew him, recognized him as someone who has come as a spy in disguise. Okay, Gudhacharaha. Nikhilam Anuchara Nikaram Visrijya. He asked all of his Anuchara, all of his attendants, Nikaram, the entire host of Anucharas, completely, Visrijya, he asked them to go out, dismissed them, and then Mantrijana Sametaha, along with his ministers, Pranatam Enam Samandahasam Abhashata. He spoke with a smile to that person, that Yati, who was doing Namaskara. So, when the Dwarapala came in, he said that there is a Yati who deserves to be worshipped by you. But then the moment he comes in, the king looks at him and then sends away all of his servants, and he is only with his ministers. He knows that this person is only in a disguise of a Yati, but he is actually a spy. So that is why the Yati is doing Namaskara to the king. Pranatam enam samandahasam abhashata. So the king spoke to him who was bowing down to the king. Nanu tapasa desham sapadesham brahman bhavan tatra bhavad abhijñātam kathayatu iti. So he says, Nanu tapasa, O ascetic, sapadesham yatha syat tatha desham brahman. This becomes a kriya visheshana here. So sa apadeshaha nama vyajena. So apadeshena sahitam brahman, desham brahman, roaming around in a disguise. Bhavan tatra bhavad abhijñātam katayatu. As you roamed around the desham, the country, with a disguise, whatever you have learnt, tell me. Do tell me. Kathayatu bhavad abhijñātam. The things that you have learnt. Tena abhashi, he spoke, bhru brahmana balina pranjalina. The spy, he replied, bhu brahmana, you, not bhru brahmana, bhu brahmana balina tena. Bali is a person who has the capability, balam, to roam around the entire earth. And pranjalihi cha bhutva tena. So tena, both of these are an adjective to tena here, who is the yati. Gudha charaha yatihi. So tena abhashi, he spoke, or it was spoken by him, who had the strength to roam around the earth. Bhu brahmana bali. Pranjalina cha. Saha pranjalihi bhutva avadat. So he also, with folded hands, he replied to the king. Deva shirasi devasya ajñam adaya enam nirdosham vesham svikritya Mālavendra nagaram pravishya tatra gudhataram vartamanasya tasya rajñah samastam udantajatam viditva pratyagamam. Agamam. So this is in lungdan nanikkaren, illaya? Agamam gam gach ordu, illaya? Paathurunga adu. Uttama purusha ekavachanam. Correct. Shirasi devasya ajñam adaya. Taking your orders on my head. This is the literal thing, which means placing your royal command as the supreme in my attitude, right? That is the most important thing. Iti shirasi nidaya, shirasi adaya, enam nirdosham vesham svikritya, taking on this vesha, this disguise which is nirdosha, which is without any blame, without any mistake. Nobody is going to see the taking on the yati vesha gives a free access to the king's place, to the antavpuram, anywhere and everywhere. So many people roam around in this vesham. Many spies roam around in this disguise. So nirdosham vesham svikritya, taking on this faultless disguise, Mālavendra nagaram pravishya, entering into the city of Malva, city of the Malva king. Tatra gudhataram vartamanaha aham, staying there in a secret manner, gudhataram, hidden way, I have been able to collect all this information. Rājñah samasta udanta jatam viditva, Mālavendraha khalu, tasya manasarasya Rājñah samastam udanta jatam vrittantam katham viditva jnatva pratyagamam punaravrittaha asmi. So I found out about all of the story about Manasara and I have come back right now. Chariya? Any questions? Chalo.
And the first
That
one.
Virachya is because the doorkeeper wanted, that is a special arrangement before talking to the yati who is a secret spy.
அப்படிலாம் இல்ல. The doorkeeper does not know that it is a spy. That is why he sends away all of the attendants and talks to the yati only in the presence of his ministers.
Yeah, but Devena Virachya is there.
No, so Devena Virachya Archana. The Archana has to be done by Deva, which means he is a yati. See, the doorkeeper will not let in anybody and everybody and anybody. He has to come and tell him what is the reason why he is coming. He wants to see the king, but at the same time he realizes it is a yati. Avladha, it's just as simple as that.
It's not just a simple Devena Archana Arhaha. There is a Devena Virachya Archana Arhaha.
பண்ண வேணும்ங்கிறது தான். ஏன் இவ்வளவு அதை கொடையறல்? வேண்டாமே.
It's not a lyap, right? It's not virachya. It is virachya. It's not a lyap.
Dirgha, virachya.
Virachya Archana.
It is adjectival to Archana and it's also in Samastapadam.
It is in the, yes. Virachya cha sa Archana cha Virachya Archana. The Archana that has to be performed, has to be done.
Okay.
அவ்வளவுதான்.
Rachana krita itina. Kritva
ததான. விரச்சயித்தும் யோக்யா அந்த மாதிரி. Yapt pratyay.
Yeah, okay. So one more question. So if you look at the first sentence, Suhrin Mantri Purohitaihi Simhasanasīnah. Nama Taihi Purohitaihi Saha Kila?
Yes. Saha தான் எடுத்துக்கணும். I think I said that.
You did? Okay. Just wondering, I didn't hear it properly. Okay.
Miss பண்ணி பரவாயில்ல. Yeah. Sometimes you just miss that. But wherever there is a tritiya and you feel something doesn't fit, just bring in one adhyaharya padam of saha, sakam, etc.
What I mean is, now when the original author wrote it, did he write the saha or is it?
இல்ல, it's not there. இல்ல, அப்படியே தான் இருக்கு. தண்டின் எழுதர்ச்சு, it is just like that.
It's understood. Samastapadam போடுறப்போ simhasanasīnah nama taihi saha simhasanasīnah because it's going with asīnah, right?
सिंहासने सर्वे न सन्ति. तैः सह सभायां अल्ल सभायां एषः तु सिंहासने आसीनः, ते तु सभायां वर्तन्ते. அவ்வளவுதான். அதுக்கு மேல நீங்க if you try to look at connections, கஷ்டமாயிடும். சிம்மாசனத்துல எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து உட்கார்ந்துட்டு இருக்காளாங்கிற மாதிரி ஆயிடும். அப்படி இல்லையே. Okay.
In each gadya we can see clearly a different style, right, of the author.
Yes. Like other each lesson you mean?
Yeah, each lesson. Yes. What we have.
This is a beautiful introduction. Adukada, none of the teachers want to let go of this Chittoor exam Because the moment we take the syllabus and teach, it's such a pleasure for both the student and the teacher. அதுதான்.
Like that Navya Vallabha, that Patamantapa Javanik, that kind of thing I had never heard. Like, how can he come up with such thing?
Descriptions.
And that ikar on the thing, so it is raising, and what you explained was so beautiful.
I know.
So that also means that if the ikar stops flowing, the elephant will have to be retired from war duty.
ஆமா. They will only be accompanying
They get the
the ladies
retirement age.
probably, இல்லனா கோவில் இதுக்கு அந்த மாதிரி.
Yeah.
இல்ல ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் ஹோம். மானி மானசாரः स्वसैनिकायुष्मत्तान्तराये सम्पराये भवतः पराभवम् अनुभूय वैलक्ष्य लक्ष्य हृदयः वीतदयः महाकालनिवासिनं काली विलासिनं अनश्वरं महेश्वरं समाराध्य तपः प्रभाव संतुष्टात् अस्मात् एकवीर अराति घ्नीं भयदां गदां लब्ध्वा आत्मानम् अप्रतिभटं मन्यमानः महाभिमानः भवन्तम् अभियोक्तुम् उद्युङ्क्ते. So this is the crux of the matter that he wants to convey. He has learnt everything that is going on in Manasara's camp or Manasara's city. Mani Manasaraha, being very high on self-esteem here. Manayuktaha saha tasmat he wanted to somehow conquer again, right? He could not take that defeat. Having experienced this defeat from you, bhavataha parabhavam anubhuya, bhavataha panchami. So having experienced this defeat from you in the battle, samparaye, in the battle, that is swa sainika ayushmatta antaraye, that was an obstacle for the ayushmatta. Ayuhu, life, ayushman, one who is long lived. Ayushmataha bhavaha, ayushmatta goes back to ayuhu. So the quality of a person who is long lived is only the life that he has. So here it is directly swasainika ayur antaraye. That's all it means. But you can also see sometimes when you put pratyayas, you think that you're actually condensing the text. You're not. You can also make it even more big here. Stretch it also.
So Swasainika Ayur Antaraya. Antaraya means interrupted?
The obstacle. Antaraya timiro pashantaye. Don't you know that shloka? Shantapavanamachintya vaibhavam tannaram vapushi kunjaram mukhe manmahe kimapi tundilam mahaha. For Ganesha, Antaraya timira upashantaye. In order to reduce upashanti, the darkness in the form of obstacles, Antaraya.
Even in Ganesha Pancharatna we get, right? Nitanta Kanta Dantaka. Somewhere you get Antaraya.
Swasainika Ayuhu, that means to say his
the life of his warriors.
Warriors has an obstacle.
No. So it proved the Samparaya, the battle proved to be an Antaraya, an obstacle to the Ayus of his Sainika, to the life of his warriors, to the long life of his warriors.
Okay, and then it's in Saptami because Sati Saptami?
No, in the battle.
Oh, in the battle.
Avlada, location.
Okay.
In the battle, bhavataha parabhavam anubhuya, experiencing a defeat from you.
Okay.
Clear?
Avataha Panchami now.
Panchami. Vailakshya lakshya hridayaha. His hridayam was lakshya. Lakshya is, it was a target for Vailakshya. Vailakshya is lajja. Vailakshya lakshya hridayaha. His mind was filled with lajja here, shame, because he experienced defeat from the king. So, and he was proud also. Now he felt ashamed to have lost in the battle. Vita dayaha. Now he had no mercy. The flip, the opposite of Rajahamsa is this Manasara who did not have any daya. Vita dayaha. Mahakala Nivasinam Kali Vilasinam Anashwaram Maheshwaram Samaradhya, having Aradhana, having done Aradhana, worshipped Maheshwara, Shiva, who is Anashwara, who is eternal, who has no death கிடையாது, அது எப்படி சொல்றது, imperishable, who does not perish. Kali Vilasinam, who is the Vilasangarche, who is the beloved of Kali. Mahakala Nivasinam, who is also the who resides in Mahakala Ujjain. Tapaf Prabhava Swatam Samaradhya. So having worshipped Shiva, Tapaf Prabhava Santushtat Asmat Maheshwarat, from Shiva, who was very happy by the tapas that Manasara did. What did he do? From him he got a gadam labdva. Asmat Maheshwarat gadam labdva. So he got a gada, mace from him, which was, the mace was bhayada. It gave fear in people. So it was a very fierce gada.
Terrifying.
Terrifying gada. Correct. Terrifying gada. But at the same time, it was like the Shakti Ayudham, which could only kill one person. Eka Veera Arati Gnim Bhayadam Gadam Labdva. Gni Hanti. Sa Gada Ekam Yera Eva Veera Aratim Veera Shatrum Hanti. It is capable of killing only one person. Like Karna, who could use his Shakti Ayudha only once, and he was forced to use it on Ghatotkacha. He had reserved it for Arjuna, but he was forced to use it on Ghatotkacha. And the Madri, this Gada will disappear as soon as, or it will become a normal weapon as soon as the enemy is killed. Atmanam
it's like a one-time use only.
Avladha, one-time use tha. Use and throw. Atmanam apratibhatam manyamanaha, thinking of himself as without any pratibhata, without any enemy. There is no warrior who is equal to him. Atmanam apratibhatam manyamanaha, he thinking of himself as someone who had no opponent. Mahabhimanaha, with a great pride. Bhavantam abhiyoktum udyunkte, he is preparing. Udyunkte, he is getting ready to face you. Abhiyoktum, to march against you. When the Yati comes and informs, and he says, Tataf param devayeva pramanam, then it is up to you. You decide, you are the pramanam to decide what to do in this, what is the next course of action.
So, yeah. Pramanam ityukte, usually, like in, Pramanam can mean proof, it can mean means of perception. But here, Devaiva Pramanam, no, you are the
ultimate authority.
For the authority, okay. You are the authority on deciding what happens next.
Yes. நான் சொல்றத சொல்லிட்டேன், அதுக்கு மேல உங்க இஷ்டம் அப்படிங்களா? அது வந்து நம்ம தமிழ்ல சொல்றது. This is the Sanskritam version of it. You will Shrutva Deva Pramanam. Tadalochya Nischita Tatkrityaihi Amatyaihi Raja Vignapito Abhut. Tadalochya Amatyaihi, having discussed all of this, Nischita Tatkrityaihi Amatyaihi, by the ministers who had decided what to do, Pratikrityam. But when the ministers heard this, they determined what was the perfect thing that he has to do. Rājavāhana அப்படியும் இருக்கலாம். Or okay, tat krityam can mean rājñah krityam, tasya krityam, tat krityam, nischitam tat krityam yaihi, taihi, amatyaihi. So rājñā yat kartavyam iti amatyaihi nischitam asit. Is that clear? So tad alochya, after hearing all this, they discussed and they deciding what the king has to do. The ministers who decided what the king has to do, they came and informed the king. Raja Vignapito Abhut. The king was informed by the ministers who determined what he has to do. Clear? Deva.
तत्कृत्य हि नाम
Rajna. Tasya krityam or tena krityam.
It cannot be just tat krityam, the necessary course of action.
By whom dane better. Edo, I think it should be fine. I'll just check the வியாக்கியானம் பார்த்தா தெரியும். அவ வேற விதமா எடுத்துட்டு இருக்காளான்னு. தத்கிருத்தியம் நிச்சித தத்கிருத்தியம் விட தேன தஸ்ய ராஜ்ஞः கிருத்தியம்
मानसारस्य यत् निश्चितं तत् कृत्यं वा
न शत्रु विषये यत् कृत्यं that is also fine. शत्रु विषये मानसार विषये यत् कर्तव्यं तत् कृत्यं that is also fine. तस्मिन् कृत्यं तस्मिन् कृत्यं better இருக்கு. देव निरुपायेन दैव सहायेन योद्धुम अरातिहि आयाति. Now they are very clear. They are saying nirupayena daiva sahayena. He is coming yodhum aratihi ayati. Aratihi shatruhu, the enemy is coming to fight yodhum with the help of, with a divine help which has no upayam here. That is, the enemy is coming with the help of God Shiva, no, Lord Shiva, for which there is no upaya, nirupaya. There is no remedy for this that we can suggest. Tasmat asmakam yuddham sampratam asampratam. So both have different meaning here. Sampratam is now, samprati, yuddham, sampratam yuddham, the immediate battle is asampratam, na yuktam. Tasmat, because of the fact that he is coming with divine help, we feel that yuddham is not the correct course of action right now. Sahasa durga samshrayaha karyaha. So immediately you have to take the refuge. Samshrayaha karyaha. You have to take refuge in a fort. Durga. So flee. Don't go and face him. Okay. There's just 2 more paragraphs which we will finish next class. Okay.